Hi and welcome to the channel. Today we're back on the Black Mini. As you can see to my left, it's multiplied. We've got a white one. Right, as you can quite clearly see, the £200 salvage Black Mini has been joined by a white one. This white one was even cheaper, £150. This was a category N flood damage and the engine was completely shot. Okay, so why did I buy the white Mini? Well, the black one's looking a little bit sorry for itself. It's been stood for a while now and the body on it is pretty tatty compared to the white one, and the shell on this one is absolutely immaculate. There's not a scratch or dent on the whole body. So the intention is to build one out of the two. The white one's going to be the one that's rebuilt. Unfortunately, the black one is going to be used for parts. So why have I taken the decision to break the black one? Well, let's take a quick look around it and see the condition of the body and you'll understand why. There's quite a bit of rust on it. Look at the state of that there. So it just needs a lot of body work, which I don't really want to get into. I want to get a car that I can use. Plus there's a few more bits that need doing. That is still completely loose, still no under tray on it. Also, another bit of rust on the wing, it's dented again. But the main reason we're going to use this as a donor now is I just simply can't get this door to sit properly. The damage inside is just too much without the proper machine to pull it out, which is beyond my skills. I've had a go at straightening the hinge or pulling it out, but it's just pulling off the body. As you can see there's quite a bit of damage. Hence when you close the door, it just doesn't line up whatsoever. I've got to be careful without breaking the glass. There we go, hang on, let's try again. There we go. As you can see, there's a good old gap there. The same at the bottom, and it just simply doesn't line up on the wing. That's the main one, but also it's a little bit tatty elsewhere. The wheels and the tyres are pretty much brand new, so we'll swap those over with the white one. Where's the other bit? Oh yes, there's a bit of rust with that, quite a bit of rust. The whole of that is gone, as you can quite clearly see there. So that would need doing anyway. Plus it's just looking a little bit tatty, so the white one's a far better condition. Plus we'll need a windscreen as well. There's a great big crack there. So the black one unfortunately has become a donor for the white. I am a sucker for a white car, and this is a pepper white with a black roof. Right, let's move on to have a look at this one, which is absolutely immaculate. Other than the front end, quite obviously. As you can see, the engine has already been removed, so I don't have to get on with do any of that, which is a bit of a bonus. I'll go and take you inside and we'll have a quick look at the engine. Okay, there's the engine out of the white one. This thing's only got 60,000 miles on it, but unfortunately it's a non-runner. It was flood damage. The guy said he got it started, but it was knocking very, very badly. But we'll take all the ancillaries off this because it's always good keeping hold of those for spares for the black engine. We'll also have the gearbox off this. It's always good having a decent spare just in case. But the main reason this thing didn't run properly is it's got a dirty great hole in the side of the block. There we go, look at that. Great big gaping hole. We'll have a little play with this when we strip it and have a good old look and see what damage there is inside. But yes, I paid £150 for this, which I think is absolute bargain, even though it's got no engine, but we do know that we've got a very good engine in the black one. Obviously we're going to swap the wheels over because I don't like those at all. Plus I've got new tyres on the black one. But as you can see, the bodywork on this is absolutely spotless. Swap the wing mirrors over as well because that is hanging on for dear life. But that's fine. Oh yeah, look at that, it goes right around. But yeah, we'll have the black one off the black one, obviously. Going down this side, you can see that there's no dents, there's no rust. A scuff on the old trim there, we'll have that off the black one. It's also got spats on it, little mud guards, haven't seen those before. Moving on to the back, again, the lights are not as good as the black one, we'll swap those over. Same with the badge is completely gone, we'll swap that out as well. Plus we've got a decent exhaust system to put on this. Moving around the other side, again, look at that, there's no dents and there's no scratches, just a bit grubby for being stood really. But yeah, look at that, it's very clean. I think the first job though is to sort out this window because the battery terminal has been cut off and the window is left open, so we need to sort that because at the moment I've just got to make do sheet over there to stop it getting wet. Right, let's take a look inside. Not that there's a lot to see other than a lot of junk from taking the engine out. There we go. Yes, we're going to clean this out first of all because that is absolutely knackered there. So we'll go through that carefully, see if anything's salvageable. If not, we'll just take it off the black one. As you can see, there's loads of broken bits in there. We've got engine mounts, fog lights, bits of trim, bits of everything. There's the ECU down there. Better grab that so it doesn't get damp. Yeah, plus the seats are reasonably good condition, so it's absolutely filthy. Might keep those, might swap the black ones over. Also, I've just noticed the headlining is completely shot on this. it's come away completely. Not damp or anything, but the fabric's just come away. So we'll swap that out with the black one, which is absolutely fine, just a bit time consuming. Right, the first job to do on this is see if we can connect up the battery somehow, because obviously the terminal for the alternator is not in there. We need to get that closed so we don't keep on getting water inside. But before I do that, I'm going to move back onto the black one. This thing's been stood for a few months now, completely neglected it. We're just going to stick a battery pack on it and see if it'll fire up. I'm sure it will, because again, it's been absolutely fine up until this point, other than that coolant leak that we had. Right, battery's on, boost pack's on. Let's go and turn this over, see if it'll start. I'm sure it will. Plus, I've just noticed we've got a flat tyre, so we've got to pump that one up as well, because that is a brand new one. I probably haven't seated that correctly, or we've picked up a puncture while it's been sat around. Right, let's jump inside. There we go. Right, are we in neutral? Here we are now. Right, fingers crossed. Let's go. Oh, first time. Brilliant. No engine lights on. Spot on. Still a quarter of a tank of fuel. Sounding very good still. There we go, running sweet as a nut as always. Take off the jump pack now it's started. We'll get that front tyre pumped up. We're moving it out of the way, and then we're going to go on to empty that white one and see if we can get that window up. Oh, cigarette lighter doesn't work. Let's have a wiggle. Probably doesn't work. Yes it does, just needed a wiggle. The pressure out of an RX-8. Right, let's get this black one out of the way so we can start emptying the white one. Just going to pull it forward a little bit, so it's not in the way. We can get to both sides. Radio's on, turn it off. And we're rolling. Almost stalled it. Beautiful. Right, we'll leave it there. Right, let's empty all of this out of here before we even attempt to get this window up. Right, that fog light's alright. The rest of that panel is completely knackered. Mirror cover, more spark plug leads, battery cover, air filter, and the ECU, which we will keep safe. There we go. That looks 100 times better than what it arrived as. And there we go. There's all the bits. We'll keep all those. We'll stuff them in the Black Mini for the time being, because you never know when we might need some of them. If not, it'll just get weighed in when the black one goes for scrap, unfortunately. Alright, let's have a go at trying to get this window closed. Obviously we've got the ECU loom there for the car. Obviously the one for the engine still attached to the engine. We've got the fuse box. That I believe goes to the alternator. That's been cut off. We did find the other lead, so in theory I could probably just attach that to the fuse box there, stick the ECU in, pop the battery on, and then we should have power, which means we should be able to get the window up. Right, we'll start with that. So I found the actual original bolt for that, so we'll get that on. Quite a bit tricky when it's not attached to anything. Right, there we go. Surprise, surprise, I've lost my 10mm socket. So I've only got a spanner, which is not the best because I can't even get this in with my fingers. Come on, there we go. Again, I'll have to find that because I know I had it again the other week. Yeah, it's not easy with a spanner that you can barely get in there with. Might need to invest in a few 10mm sockets because they're always the ones that go missing. Right, that's almost there. Is that tight? I don't want it too tight, as long as it's not going to arc. Right, that'll do. Right, ECU, did put it somewhere, there we go. Right, pop that to the side, pop the connector on, push it on, and then lock it in place. God, it's a bit tight, isn't it? This is where I slip and take my skin off. There we go. Just pop that there. Right, now we need to put the battery on. I've stolen the battery off the black one. Right, you stay there. It's not going to, is it? No, solid, leave it. Right, got a trusty chair. There's my battery tray. Here we go. Battery on there. Stick the old negative on first. Now I lost my spanner again. Where'd that go? Ridiculous. Ah, there it is. Right, let's tighten up that. Right, tight enough. Right, now I've got to somehow connect that to the positive. Luckily I've got so many spares at home that I found an old battery terminal. And I've just crimped that a little bit, so in theory I can just slide that in there, make it nice and tight. It's not ideal, but just enough to get a bit of power. We should be alright. Let's tap it closed. Alright, crimp it a little bit. There we go. Right, so in theory I should be able to pop that on there, and then we go and see if we've got some power. That's better. Right, put the terminal on. Oh, I heard noises. That's a good thing. Right, we'll leave that like that. Okay, in theory that should work. Right, let's go around, see if we've got power to the ignition, and see if we can get this window up. Right, in we go. Oh, blimey, that seat's low. Right, turn the ignition key on. Got lights, we got ignition. Fuel pump's on. Obviously the temperature gauge has gone sky high because there's nothing attached. There we go, 66,000 miles. Right, moment of truth. Let's see if the window goes up. There's the button. Oh yes, spot on. And the auto pinch works as well. Right, we'll just disconnect all of that again and go and put the battery back on the Black Mini. The next stage, I think I'm just going to swap these wing mirrors over, call it quits for one day, and then on the next video, hopefully we'll get the black one in and start stripping it. Right, let's get this wing mirror off. Hopefully the connectors are identical. It's the same age. But needless to say, everything seems to have a slight variation on it. Swing it around, two at the front. Okay, moment of truth, is the connector the same? Looks like it. Yes, brilliant. Alright, let's just bolt this back on. Alright, there we go. One replacement mirror, all on and secure. Okay, I came to do the other side, took the wing mirror off, went to put the black one on from the other car, and look, surprise, surprise, the connectors are different. So we're going to have to put the original back on, and I'm just going to have to clean all that up. It's only tape anyway. But yeah, back on it goes. Right, as you can see, the wing mirror is all back on. I think I'm going to call it quits for one day because the rain clouds are gathering. Before I go though, basically what we're going to do with this, the black car is now going to be a donor. The whole of this is going to be transplanted all the way across into the white one. Nothing adventurous, just a simple, straightforward engine swap. Obviously, before I put the engine in, I'm going to take the subframe off. We'll decide which one's best, this one or the one on the black one. We'll get it shot blasted and powder coated as well, because while we've got the engine out, we might as well do that, and then we know it's good for the life of the car. So what's the plan for the white one? Well, once the engine's in and running, we're going to get it MOT'd and we're going to start slowly modifying it. I want to turn it into a fast road car, but using the original engine. I'm not going to go too mad on this, not at the moment, because I've got too many other projects. I just want to keep it as a nice daily runabout. It's going to be a little bit quicker than standard. I'm not worried about getting a Cooper S engine or anything like that. At some point I am tempted with the idea. I don't want to go case swap, everyone's doing that. I have seen an Audi engine in there, but again that's a bit boring. I'm thinking rear wheel drive, maybe something like a rotary engine out of an RX-8 or something. Who knows, we shall see. But for the time being, I think we're just going to concentrate on getting the black one completely stripped, get the engine into this one and getting this thing up and running. Well, I think that's it for one day. I'm absolutely exhausted. I haven't done a lot, to be fair, but I did a lot of other stuff other than the Mini. Hopefully on the next episode we'll get the black one, which is over there, into the shed, and we'll start stripping it and getting that engine out. But until next time, thanks for watching. Please comment, like, or even subscribe. See you on the next video.